everyone, it's Marietta from Smart Screen Stencils. Today I'm going to be etching using etching cream with our stencils. I've made this one and it's the first time I'm using it, so what I do, instead of writing something on the back of it with a permanent marker, when I don't have a permanent marker or when I'm just lazy, what I do, and if there's space, I cut off a stone corner. Yeah. That way, now when I peel it off, first off, I find it easier to peel it off. I'm gonna keep that. And secondly, it'll be easy to line back up again. Now, because this is the first time I'm using it, it's a little less sticky. Sometimes it does that, especially if it's been through the mail for a long time. For you guys who are living in the States, sometimes the stencil get dried off a little bit. I talk too much now, but okay. I'm gonna breathe on it, and that's gonna create a little bit of moisture, and that will make it stick better. I have this scented candle here today that I'm going to make a little bit. I'm not happy with that. That's right, it's readjustable. All right, I have this scented candle here that I want to make a little bit extra special for my husband. So I'm gonna be etching in this. Now I'm pushing down on this hard, but smooth. I don't want any air bubbles underneath it. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of air bubbles. You want to have this nice and stuck. All right, we're using the blue all surface stencil for this. The purple stencil, which we also supply, is the fabric wood one, is gonna be too sticky. All right, so now I have the stencil stuck on here. I'm happy with that. Because it's etching cream we're using, we want to wear gloves. I've used these gloves quite a few times now already today. I did some testing earlier today. I've decided to go with the reusable Etchall etching cream, because it's reusable and it's available in the States, I know, as well. Oh, of course it's childproof. And sometimes I'm just a little bit too much of a kid. All right, enough commentary for me. Now what we're gonna do is, I've got this spoon, this old one. I'm just gonna put a little bit on there. And what I found, I don't have a squeegee. I don't wanna use my squeegee for this because it's etching cream. I'm gonna run this through properly, because what it says is to make sure you have a thick layer. But no matter how thick of a layer I did, I still didn't have a nice smooth etching. You know, some parts etched more, some etched less, if you understand what I'm saying. And now that I've made sure it's going through, now I'm adding on a thick layer, which I'm not too worried about. You know, I'm not gonna waste this. This is reusable, people. So while I may put on a thick layer, later on I'm gonna be able to take this off and put it back in the jar and reuse it again. So I like the little spoon for it. I have this little old spoon that I'm not using for anything except for crafts, so there. Now, the rest of this, as you can see, it can just go back into the jar. The reason why I'm not using a squeegee to put it on is because, as you can see right now, I'm not, you know, I'll leave this here. Don't roll on me. I have a stand, but I forgot to bring it with me. Reason why I'm not using a squeegee is because I like my squeegee, I love my squeegee, and I like to just use it for paint and not for something, you know, that is, you know, etching cream. All right, we're gonna set a timer. It's on. Pardon my cracked screen. I am not the most careful person when it comes to phones. 15 minutes, and we're gonna wait and let it be, let it sit. Once my alarm goes off after 15 minutes, I'm gonna be able to just take it off, take off the excess, and put that back in, and then I'm gonna rinse it before I take off the stencil. Okay, I'm back. I realized I didn't zoom. This is the first video I'm making, by the way, so it hasn't passed. It's almost time, but I wanted to show you guys some other stuff. It's almost. So this is not the first time I'm using this Etchall cream. Okay, today is the first day I'm using it. But before this video that I'm making now, before this video, I tried using it with this stencil just to test it out. All right, this one's not completely dry yet. And just to test it out, not just the Etchall cream, but also the Cadence Magic Glass cream that we sell as well. Just to see the difference, whether or not this one was reusable, and how many times can I use one stencil when using etching cream. My alarm is about to go off, so I am gonna put my gloves back on and I will answer that question about how many times can you use it before the stencil goes bad, because obviously, you know, there is something in this etching cream that is etching and eating away at glass, so obviously it is affecting the stencil as well. You will not be able to reuse it as many times as you would if you were just using paint. So, now, this has been 15 minutes on here. I'm taking my old membership card of some shop that I haven't been to forever. And I'm just taking the excess off. And I'm putting it back in. So this jar of etching cream, of Etchall, I'll be able to use quite a few times, quite a bit. All right. I've got the majority of it off. I'm gonna take this with me, and I'm gonna head over to the sink. And I'm gonna leave the stencil on. Now, I'm not using hot water here. I don't have hot water in this little apartment. I'm just using cold water. I didn't turn the boiler on. I'm just rubbing off the excess cream here. All right, because that's what it says to do. And now I'm gonna, am I gonna be able to peel this off? Now, when you're taking off stencils, people, you don't want to just take them off like this. You got to be a little bit more careful. I'm trying to get it straight so I'm not stretching the stencil, because once it gets stretched, your image gets distorted. It will not bounce back. Now this came off. I'll put this in the sink, leave it there. I'm gonna rinse off the excess. You probably can't see this on the video right now. I have a hard time seeing this, but it is etched in there. What I'm gonna do, once this is all dry, I want to get the glitter off. What I'm gonna do later on is I'm gonna add, we have some nano paint, which is great, but always use gloves with it if you're using it. Oh, stickers coming off at the bottom. That's fine. All right. I'm gonna leave this over here. I'm gonna grab the camera later on and see if I can get this. This is gonna just dry like that for a little bit. Oh, and while I'm here, I'm gonna need this. Because obviously I put the sticky side up, by the way, if you're putting it into the sink, otherwise, you know, you'll get issues. Now, this is the sticky side to the top. This I'm not gonna rub much. I'm just gonna let the water go through the screen, really, just a little bit. Now I turn it back, showing you how I clean this. I don't use a clipboard. I like to just use my hands because. And I gently rub it, gently, but only on the top side, so the non-sticky side. This is the side you can gently rub. The other side, the adhesive side, you do not rub that. Now, it's upside down. I put it on a towel that I have here. Okay, I can technically take my gloves off. All right, now, remember what I said about the corner that I cut off? Now you're gonna see why. Usually, if you've written on this, you can see, you know, which side goes where. but I cut the corner off. Now I'm just gonna line this up, because if I had it flipped down, there's no way I can just line this up. This is the wrong side, you don't want to stick it on. We're gonna stick the carrier foil or carrier sheet back on, like so. Oh, or not like so. All right, let's do that again. Because it's wet, it's easy. I'm gonna hold it, but I'm not gonna push down too much. I'm just gonna gently rub off a little bit of the excess water. Flip it over gently, and there you go. Now it's just gotta dry.